Shabbat Shalom. In this week's Torah portion, Vayachi, the book of Genesis, which started with the creation of the world, Adam and Eve, Noah, Abraham, and all the patriarchs, and is filled with conflicts between family, comes to a peaceful end. Jacob, reunited with his beloved Joseph, sees his grandchildren, the only such seen in the Torah, and blesses them. Then on his deathbed, he blesses his 12 sons. He dies and is buried at the cave of Machpelah with his parents and grandparents, making his son Joseph swear that he will take his body back to Israel. Joseph forgives his brothers a second time, and he himself dies, having assured the brothers that God will eventually bring the family back to the promised land. Do not fear, Joseph says in chapter 50. True repentance has finally taken place. I recently read that sibling rivalry is the way that Genesis understands the entire story of redemption. Because think about it, Cain fought with Abel, Isaac with Ishmael, Jacob with Esau, Joseph with his brothers. Can brothers ever live peacefully with one another? If brothers cannot live together, how can nations, how can humanity survive? But by the end of Genesis, siblings are finally getting along. The long patriarchal narrative has come to an end, and a new period, the birth of Israel as a nation, can now begin. So be nice to your siblings this week. The very name of this week's Torah portion, Vayachi, means "and he lives." Vayachi reminds us that while death is a natural and unexpected part of life, we tend to approach it with ambivalence and fear. Tolstoy observes, the reason we can tolerate the death of others, even those near to us, is that their death pushes ours further away. So as we come to an end of the first book of the Torah and an end of 2018, as a community we've said goodbye to so many wonderful people. George Bush and Barbara, Aretha Franklin, Stan Lee, Burt Reynolds, John McCain, Kate Spade, Stephen Hawking, and most recently Penny Marshall. But they all Vayachi, and they all continue to live on through God's gift of memory. May all of our loved ones continue to live on in our hearts and in our souls. Shabbat Shalom.